introduce someone to you that you probably don't know. This is Tom Bell. He's you're almost my brother-in-law, man.
Absolutely, almost.
All right. Tommy's normally to be found out playing with his band or solo or doing comedy gigs, but in the current situation, I thought, why not ask him to come here and do a little comedy stand-up for us? So take it away, Tommy.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth, and thanks you guys for inviting me in on this thing. Pretty cool. My whole career as a comedian has been building up to this moment, telling jokes to Buddhists online. So, what could go wrong? It's what I'm designed for. This is my wheelhouse. So, actually, Elizabeth called me up. And she said, I've got a comedy gig for you. I said, well, what is it? She said, well, there's no money involved and there's no audience. I'm like, well, how is that different than any other gig I've ever done? That's fine. I'm in 100%. So I guess this is for the Sha Na Na Center. I guess it's Rec Center for Buddhists or something like that. I'm picturing this is where you guys go to play ping pong and listen to 80s music. I'm not really sure what goes on at the Rec Center there, but I'm sure it's all for a good cause. Never been there, but I plan on getting there sometime. Anyways, I'm a big fan of the Buddha. Actually, I have one right here. I have the fat Buddha. I don't know if there's different ones. I keep it in my china cabinet, right next to my great-grandfather's appendix. But anyways, I like the idea of like a fat deity. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, because I'm a big fan of Peter Griffin on The Family Guy. So we're not really that different, I just wonder, though, like about the overweight thing. Did he have any friends that, like, ever tried to tell him to put the brakes on it at some point? I don't know. If I ever got overweight, I pray to God someone would stop me before my earlobes got fat. I mean, I don't know. What is lipo on an earlobe? It's got to be at least $1,000 a lobe. It's got to be expensive. If my earlobes get fat, I'm just going to put gauges in there. That's all I'm going to do. But enough about the Buddha. Tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up kind of a rough neighborhood. I come from the streets. I grew up in a place called the Alan Parsons Project. A lot of white kids with their boom boxes blasting out yacht rock. It's a total nightmare there. That's where you might, forget it. Just rest your hands, please. What else has been going on? Oh, I went to the hospital recently. Nothing serious. I walked in there, and the lady behind the desk said, "What brings you to the emergency room?" I said, "I have a fetish for nurses, and I'd like to ruin my credit." Pretty sure I'm in the right place. Oh, it's my emergency room joke. Oh, I got a hand wave on that. When did we get to the point where every single day is some sort of ridiculous, made-up holiday? It's like the fourth Monday of January is National Bubble Wrap Day. Can you believe that's a holiday? Bubble Wrap Day? Here's my question. How am I supposed to celebrate Bubble Wrap Day when I'm still hungover from Packing Peanuts Day? Makes no sense. I read an online report that said every year we manufacture enough bubble wrap to cover the entire surface area of the Earth 3 times. But the good news is, if we ever bump into another planet, we're all going to be fine. So I think it evens out, basically. How am I doing on time? Should I keep going? All right. You ever get one of those gifts that you like? You look at the gift and you go, "This person knows nothing about me." I got my last birthday. My mom got me a book called "Live, Laugh, and Flowers." Yeah, that book went straight in the garbage. That's my favorite joke. My mom loves that joke too. Had to throw that in for her. Went up to New York City recently. I did 3 trips up there to do stand-up comedy. A friend of mine down here was asking me, what's the biggest difference between Florida and New York City? And I said, for me, it's got to be the birds. Because down here we have seagulls, and up in the city they have pigeons. And down here, a seagull will pick up a cigarette and realize it's not a French fry. He'll drop it and fly away. But the last time I was in Times Square, I saw a guy throw a cigarette down. The pigeon picked it up and took a drag off it. It's a high-stress city. Oh, thank you. I think I'm over my time, so I'll do one more. My girlfriend rented us a room up there in the Lower East Side, $300 a night. I said, $300? Are you crazy? Do you realize for that kind of money we could have rented a trailer in Plant City for a whole month? That comes complete with a fully functional meth lab. Meth lab is standard. I'll tell you what, in closing, I'll say this. This is how I think Buddha got the weight problem. I think there was probably a pandemic. He was stuck in his house for a couple weeks. Things got out of hand. And that's what's happening. This is like, I'm not getting overweight. I'm getting spiritual right here. This is my karma zone. This is all karma and Captain Crunch. This is where I store it. All right, thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Tommy, for sharing. And he wrote most of that material today, I think, right? Anyway, glad I can give you something to do. Help pass the time.